There I was, in despair I was, so deep in debris no one knew where I was. And I had to come out of the closet, 'cause I couldn't get into the closet, and face a truth so catastrophic, so outre, so diabolic. I had become a clutterholic. I love all my stuff, I'm surrounded by stuff, and I keep accumulating and it's never enough. There were piles on the piano and piles on the floor. I hadn't seen my tabletop since '94. I read all the books, tried to master feng shui, but I couldn't throw a single piece of paper away. I had jigsaw puzzles, missing pieces, 40 years of rental leases, baby shoes and old eyeglasses, notes from all my college classes, souvenirs from summer trips, long expired memberships, every type of little boxes, bits of fur and silver foxes, hordes of fascinating books and cookbooks by 100 cooks, photos from the Caribbean, from the Dead Sea, the Aegean, beads and wires and tools for beading, magazines I plan on reading, socks and gloves that have lost their mate, against which I won't discriminate, articles I never read, and 50 hats on a styrofoam head. I reached rock bottom and I ran to the phone. Someone help me, I cried, I can't do this alone. And before I could ponder which things to hide, an organizing specialist was by my side. He had more manila folders than ever I'd seen, and then he revealed his wondrous labeling machine. I'm in love with the man with the labeling machine. He trimmed tabs my life, keeps my surfaces clean. There's really nothing to it, he makes me want to do it. The man with the labeling machine, he said, you are not hopeless, not a whit. You're merely stuck in piles of stuff. These things are merely out of place. When you give them a name, they will have a space. So he cranked out those labels categorically, progressively reducing my anxiety. Yes, he cranked out the labels 1, 2, and 3, and pretty soon he even put a label on me. I'm addicted to folders, it's plain to see. I'm just the other side of OCD. No longer adrift in miscellaneous piles. I've acquired filing cabinets that go on for miles. And I'm in love with the man with the labeling machine. He trimmed tabs my life, keeps my surfaces clean. There's really nothing to it, he makes me want to do it. But there's something missing, you know what I mean? I need a guy with a shredding machine.
Well, welcome to Organize Yourself at Home and at Work. I hope you enjoyed that song, and did any of that sound a little bit familiar to you? The name of that song is Confessions of a Clutterholic, written by Lois Morton, who is a performer and a songwriter. My name is Karen Sladek, and I'm the owner and founder of the company Organize for Results. I'm also a member of the National Association of Professional Organizers, and I'm a former real estate agent. As a former agent, I understand how difficult it is to stay organized at work. Buying and selling real estate is a complicated process with many players involved. Keeping track of your clients as they progress through the stages of buying or selling is essential to the success of your business. Your clients will pick up on the fact that you're well organized. They'll have a higher degree of confidence in your ability, regardless of the length of time you've been in the business. So, are you ready to get organized? Let's start off by asking ourselves a few questions. Do I complain that I don't have enough time? Am I always rushed and running late? Is my office area cluttered? Is my house in chaos? What does my car look like? Do I have problems finding things? And how about, am I always forgetting something? Well, if even one of these questions sound familiar to you, guess what? You're not alone. Let's just go over a few statistics to make you feel a little bit more comfortable. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention state unequivocally that 80% of our medical expenditures are stress-related. Executives waste 6 weeks per year searching for lost documents. Now let's just stop and think about that for a moment. 6 weeks a year. Can you imagine what you could do with an extra 6 weeks of time? And how about this one? 80% of what we keep, we never use. Take a look at your surroundings. Look in your office and look at your home. What do you really use? How much do we really need? 80% of the clutter in your home is a result of disorganization, not lack of space. Getting rid of excess clutter would eliminate 40% of the housework in the average home. 40%. That would mean that you would have 40% more time to do the things you'd want to do. And finally, 23% of adults say they pay bills late and thus incur late fees simply because they lose them. Well, I'm going to show you how to make sure this doesn't happen. But first, let's ask ourselves the mental challenge question. Do you want to get organized? That's important. Do you want to get organized? Are you feeling out of control? Well, you know what? You're not alone. With family and work obligations pulling us in so many different directions these days, everyone seems to be overwhelmed. But there is a solution. Even with hurried days and a jam-packed calendar, you can clear the way to cleaning out the clutter and on your way to success. Organization brings a peace of mind and frees you to focus on more important things. So, ask yourself, do you want to get organized? This is the most critical question you can ask. If you answered yes, then your mind is on board and it's time to set yourself free and set the stage for success. Today, we're going to talk about saving time, how you can quickly find everything that you need. You don't want to be one of those executives that are wasting 6 weeks every year searching for lost documents. Save money. Stop buying things you already own. Have you ever looked for something? You know you bought it. You're sure it's somewhere around, but you can't find it, so you just go out and buy it again. Well, we're going to show you how to save some money. How to feel better. Think more clearly, knowing that your life is in order. And also, gain control. Focus on what's important. Your family, your friends, work, and even that playtime. All right, the areas that we're going to cover today, we're going to discuss time management, areas that cause us frustration, filing systems that are geared specifically towards your real estate clients, how to build a referral-based business. That's real important to the success of your business. Your automobile, the importance of keeping your car organized, and then we're going to talk about some tips on how to reduce the clutter at home. Okay, let's get started. Time management. Have a place for everything and put everything in its place. Have you ever heard that quote before? Well, let me tell you, it applies to every aspect of your life, whether we're talking about mail or email, your filing system, your client files, your home, and even your car. There is no shortage of time. In fact, we are positively awash with it. Famous quote. You ever hear yourself telling yourself, gosh, I just simply don't have enough time? There isn't possibly enough hours in the day. Well, guess what? There is. The 80-20 rule simply states that 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. Think about that. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. So in actuality, you do have time. You just need to know how to use it more efficiently. So if 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts, how about this one? The 96-minute rule. If a work day, in a typical work day, if you work a typical 8-hour day, and if 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts, why not get real focused for 96 minutes each day? It makes sense, right? 20% of 8 hours is 96 minutes. and I'm going to show you how to get real focused for that first 96 minutes of each day. This quote is by Chris Crouch, who wrote the book Getting Organized. If you get a chance, pick it up. It's got some great information in there. Okay, first of all, let's talk about your calendar. All right, you need to schedule your day or others will. I can guarantee you that if you do not put things in your calendar and schedule your day, other people will schedule your day for you. In order to manage your time, you need to use a calendar. Now, the core to every organizing system is a calendar. You want to make sure that you use a calendar that incorporates a to-do list. And everything that affects your day will be put in one place. You've got your calendar, what you're going to do, and your task list for that day. You want to stay on task. Block out time and see what your week looks like. I personally use a paper calendar system. I've tried the electronic ones, and they just don't function properly for me. So if you are used to using an electronic system, keep using it. But if you're only using the electronic device for your contact management system, then put it aside. Get a paper system first. It has a less learning curve, and it'll be easier for you to establish a calendar and establish your schedule and stick to it. Sometimes people do get caught up in electronics, but I can guarantee you that there is no planner or electronic device that will get you organized if you don't change your bad habits first. Don't get caught up in the latest and greatest technology. It's only going to cause you more frustration. You want to make sure that you keep your system simple. And more importantly, identify what's keeping you from being organized before buying the gadget that promises to organize you. There is no gadget that is going to organize you. You need to organize yourself. If you've already invested in a PDA, then don't worry about it. Okay? Keep using it until you develop your system. I'm going to just show you the paper system that I use. Again, I'm a very visual person, and I need to see something large. I can't use a small screen. So I've incorporated a paper system into my routine. I can see a week at a time, and I also have my to-do list right with me. And I can see all the time blocks that are available for myself. Now, I personally like to keep my Mondays open. That way I know that I have time to make sure that if anything unexpected is going to come up during the week, I can plan for that. And by the same token, I like to leave my Friday afternoons open as well. This works for me. Now, you also want to make sure that you schedule your personal time. If you don't schedule your personal time, things will come up and you won't get it done. So on Wednesday evenings, my husband and I like to run with the local running club. So I make sure that I put that in my calendar. That way I'm going to commit to it. So again, pick a system that works for you and commit to it, and you want to make sure that you believe in your system.